Wow. I didn't know it was this big in here.
Yeah.
It's like a concert.
It is.
Yeah.
Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Well, you know.
I know the neighborhood.
You know the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know this view. It's gorgeous here. You just got back from doing 7 shows in 7 cities in 24 hours?
Yep. Started in Atlanta.
It all started when Robert Downey Jr., known for spilling Hollywood's dirty secrets, dropped a bombshell about none other than Jay-Z. Downey was in the middle of a candid conversation when he revealed that Jay-Z might be the next big name on the FBI's radar.
Atlanta at 6 in the morning and finished in Vegas at 6 in the morning.
Oh, man, why do you do that to yourself?
I'm crazy.
Yeah, you are crazy.
I was trying to think of a great, like, you know,
a reason to do
a
it?
whole promo thing in one day and get it all over with, but I'm crazy.
Yeah, because you don't need to do that. People are excited enough to see you. You retired, and then you decided, no, never mind, I want to come back.
According to Downey, Jay-Z's long history in the music industry might have more than just hit records behind it. While everyone sees the glitz and glamour of his career, there are whispers about how he's used his influence in ways that could land him in serious trouble.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. Want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy, it's gonna be the women that give him in the end.
Here, Jaguar Wright says that Jay-Z attacked her worse than Diddy.
What's it like in there, Jay?
Nice, come on in.
I want to.
Come on in.
Here, Jay-Z invites people out to his Fanatics Fest party.
Jaguar Wright has been exposing Hollywood, Diddy, and all of those close to Diddy. She recently went on Piers Morgan's show and spoke about Jay-Z and Beyonce is just as guilty.
Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, Sean Carter.
They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about.
When Jaguar Wright says something, it kind of holds weight. But after that interview and all the allegations that she made about Jay-Z, it prompted Piers Morgan to come out and issue an apology and kind of slam Jaguar Wright for the things that she said.
Jaguar spills tea on Jay-Z and Beyonce.
And we're thrilled to have you back. You don't have to do anything. We're just dying to. I got one. I got the first one. But everybody, this is coming out today, right?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, very exciting. Now, I don't know how many people know that much about your background, but you really had, you started out on the streets. You sold drugs.
Not on the street.
Well,
in the street.
In the streets.
Yeah.
But you were, you were a tough kid selling drugs.
What Downey suggested next made people sit up straight. He hinted that the FBI has been quietly building a case linking Jay-Z to illicit activities that could range from financial schemes to questionable business dealings.
And what changed you? What all of a sudden said, came, to you to say, I'm not going to do this anymore?
Well, when you grow up I grew up in Marcy Projects, so you grow up in Brooklyn. Anybody from Brooklyn?
Brooklyn in the house.
You grow up in those environments, you do what's around you. So slowly as you mature and you start looking around you, you start to realize you can't live that type of life for the rest of your life, or the rest of your life will be shortened. Or you're either gonna be in a jail cell
As Downey spoke, fans were left wondering if the rapper's business empire could be part of a larger criminal network. With names like Epstein and R. Kelly already exposed, could Jay-Z really be the next one to face justice? While there's still a lot of speculation, one thing is clear: if Robert Downey Jr. is dropping hints, Hollywood better brace itself for another scandal to hit the headlines.
What do we know at this point about what this case might ultimately be about?
Abby, at the moment, we don't know what the charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. I heard from his attorney they are still maintaining his innocence. They said that in anticipation of these charges, 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. After that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands.
Like Diddy, Jay-Z's defense team is likely already preparing for the worst. You don't get involved with the FBI without consequences, Downey emphasized.
All right, Beyonce and Jay-Z are going down. That's what this article says by Drippin'. Because of P. Diddy, let's see what they have to say. I'm very interested, guys. Now, I made this far on the video. Drop a like.
New reports are emerging that suggest both Jay-Z and Beyonce are under investigation by federal authorities. Could it be true? According to sources close to the investigation, this is all linked to the recent arrest of none other than P. Diddy.
Leave a comment. Helps me out so much. Share it with a friend and subscribe. Here we go.
It seems like Katt Williams wasn't lying.
All of these big deviants is all catching in 2024.
This is the guy, he's a comedian, Katt Williams. I believe he went on the record.
It's hard to believe, but it looks like Katt Williams wasn't lying all along. Williams, who has been outspoken about the dark side of Hollywood.
Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. That's life. Everything is life. It happens for you. Everything is for your greatest good. No matter what it looked, they say you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right? You can't control the future. I mean, you can control it up to some point. You can't control what others do. You can't control anything. Someone can run a red light and that's the end of everything. You only can control what you can control. So things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
Here, Jay-Z is dropping some wisdom, saying everything that happens is life.
He was offered hundreds and thousands of dollars to, hook up with Diddy, and he declined it several times. I think that's who that is. Could be wrong, but I think that's who it is.
Up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
Y'all probably saw how Diddy is cooked.
Looks like Jay-Z and Beyonce are responding legally to the recent interview that Jaguar Wright did on Piers Morgan. So much so, Piers had to issue an apology. One of the resounding claims that Jaguar Wright must be telling the truth is the fact that no celebrity has ever sued her. But some experts will say that, well, technically they don't want discovery if they were to sue her or to give her attention by suing her. But Piers Morgan has a huge platform and has the money to be sued and has a lot to lose.
As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too.
Beyonce and Jay-Z demand apology after Jaguar Wright's Piers Morgan interview.
Baby oil and all.
I have a conspiracy. I think that the person they have in prison and court is not even P. Diddy, it's a clone. I think P. Diddy has enough money to find someone who looks like him to take the fall. That's my opinion, because I've been looking at the videos and pictures and I'm like, that don't look like the same guy.
Regardless of whether or not it's a clone, the case against Diddy is real. But here's where it gets even more intense. As Diddy's legal battles intensify, there are whispers that Jay-Z and Beyonce are now part of the same federal investigation.
After federal agents in Manhattan officially arrested Diddy, it was reported that Diddy...
Right there. That to me is not P. Diddy. This guy right here is not P. Diddy. This is the day, no, I think this was the day that he went
Sources are hinting that Jay-Z's long-standing friendship with Diddy may be part of the investigation. These two have been close for over 15 years.
Like Kim Burrell said that Jay-Z called her and asked her to come and minister to his wife, who was locked in a room for 12 hours, listening to Kim Burrell records, rocking back and forth and shit. I guess she was trying to break the spell. I don't know.
Jaguar said that Jay-Z called Kim Burrell and asked her to minister his wife.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Jaguar calls Jay-Z and Beyonce a nasty couple.
He went to, they locked him up. That was that day. And then Sean Diddy Combs, life in danger inside New York jail, says former warden. But I just don't think that's him. That's too big of a guy to be Diddy. But that's my opinion. That's the clone.
Behind bars in New York jail.
An insider recently revealed that rapper DaBaby once attended one of Diddy's infamous gatherings. And guess who else was there? Jay-Z and Beyonce. According to DaBaby, P. Diddy even asked all the regular people to leave, keeping only his VIP guests behind.
You see that? You see him right here? How skinny he looked compared to what we just saw? That's what I'm saying. I think it's a different guy. And I know he can gain weight, whatever, lose weight. But I just think that, in my opinion, God forbid you have an opinion, I think that is, let me screenshot, that's a good picture. I think this is actually, probably not thumbnail, we'll see.
Diddy is accused of using these events to manipulate and control victims, raising questions about the role his celebrity friends might have played, willingly or not.
Always sounds crazy and wild until it ain't, because, and who knows? She's not credible or lie detector test or whatever. What if she's right? What if all these things that she's seen, because she was a dominatrix. She said she used to work at these parties and tie guys up and whip them and everything like that. She was about that life. So when somebody that's about that life tells you about the life,
you giving her a lot of credibility?
I'm not, but Adam, where is she coming up with this stuff?
Whether or not you buy into that, the facts remain. Diddy is facing serious allegations. And as the investigation into his case deepens, his close ties with Jay-Z and Beyonce are being questioned.
My son died because he was my son.
He died because of
He
your
was targeted because he's my son.
He
was working on his EP. I bought Philadelphia for him so he didn't have to sign to a company because I knew what it was going to do. He interned at Rock Nation. And they approached him to sacrifice me. I saw his death when he was 19. I moved us here to stop it, to prevent it, to avoid it. They take them anyway to show you what the harm is. Giovanni, his death is why I do what I do.
Jaguar says that Jay-Z took out his son because she said about his deeds.
Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview.
According to recent documents, Diddy's parties allegedly involved more than just fun and games. Guests may have been coerced, drugged, and manipulated to keep secrets. So, while Diddy's lawyers argue these were just a lifestyle, the details are becoming much more disturbing, especially with new victims coming forward.
I think he has an out option, and that is popping a cyanide pill.
If he wanted to kill himself, he would have been dead already.
But Choke, I mean, you might have said the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, you didn't wait for the best part yet. He's going to be indicted for the murder of Tupac and the notorious B.I.G.
The shocking allegations levelled at Sean Diddy Combs have burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harboured a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years.
Jaguar Wright has long been vocal about what she witnessed in the industry, but it wasn't until now that her claims are gaining traction. With Diddy facing accusations of trafficking, racketeering, and assault, the internet is buzzing with speculation.
And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invited her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay-Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves. But now they have.
Tony Busby, a Houston attorney, recently held a press conference revealing disturbing details about the case. He represents 120 victims, and shockingly, some of these individuals were minors at the time of the alleged incidents. The youngest victim was only 9 years old. While many focus on the high-profile names involved, it's the horrific nature of these crimes that's taking center stage.
Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. And we apologise to Jay-Z and Beyonce.
According to Busby, people who attended these infamous parties, from album releases to impromptu after-parties, and knew what was happening, may also be held accountable.
Sean Diddy Combs is reportedly putting together an O.J. Simpson-style legal dream team to defend federal charges on sexual assault, sex trafficking, and racketeering. It certainly looks like he's going to need all the legal help he can get. Well, last week, Houston attorney Tony Busby held a bombshell press conference to announce he's representing 120 alleged victims of the rap mogul, during which he gave new and disturbing details.
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals.
When asked about the victims, Busby shared shocking details. Nearly half of the cases he's representing involve minors, and a significant portion of the victims are male. According to Busby, many of these incidents involved drugging victims without their consent.
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop until him and his cohorts are all held to account publicly and legally. The victims, they're not safe. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things. That changes now, Sean. You have no choice. Everyone knows.
Here, Wright unloads on Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy.
50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy.
No. He's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him. Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C&D came out, he took all of that Diddy shit down. Because of his tape. Say, what is it with all of these pretenders? And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson. They should check the EPA report and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios.
Jaguar says 50 Cent wants to take the place of Jay-Z and Diddy.
So she's utilizing this 15 minutes of fame, and there she is right there. Here's what I'll also say about Diddy. This was
what song she was in?
No.
Big Pimpin'.
Stay tuned because this story is far from over. If you've made it this far, leave a comment with your thoughts and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this breaking story.